So whether you want a rotary encoder for a MIDI application or to control the sound on your PC, or like I do, you want a rotary encoder because you want to eventually build an SI 5351 DDS VFO, I want to try to quickly as I can show you how to bring this up on the RP2040 Feather and get the rotary encoder working enough to show you that the concept is correct. So first, go find a USB-C cable that is a real data cable, not a charging cable. Here is the Feather RP2040. Boot select button is down here on the end away from the USB-C connector. I'm going to hold that down. I'm plugging it in to the USB-C. And then if you look over here on the Finder windows, we'll see this thing show up as the RP1-RP2 drive, which means we're in the booter and we're ready to start using this RP2040 Feather. So here you can see the RP1, RP2 drive. The next thing we need to do is load CircuitPython on that. So I've got links here in this sort of 19-step program. We're following along. We've got the RP1, RP2 folder. We're going to go to adafruit.com. We're going to find the RP2040 Feather. That's here. We're up on the RP2040 Feather overview. They organize these pages quite well. It's kind of a repetitive thing for each of their products. We'll go to pinouts. We'll scroll down again. We're going to skip all the things about building the board or using alternative power or anything. We're going to go to assembly. We're going to skip all the assembly because in this case, we don't have to do any assembly. We don't need an edge connector. We have the stemma QT connector for us to connect our I2C on. I'm going to skip power management. We'll go to the bottom of that page. We're going to hear, this is the important one, install CircuitPython. Right here, it says download the latest version of CircuitPython. I'll do that. Here's the CircuitPython page for the RP2040. I'm going to download this UF2 file for CircuitPython 805. There we go. We're doing that. I'll click down here. I have to take this up. I'm going to view in or show in Finder. And there's the file we just downloaded. I'm going to take that file. I'm going to drag it down to the RP1, RP2 folder, which is your CircuitPython capable Feather RP2040, and let go. And then you'll see the Feather in my hand will boot. And you notice the RP1, RP2 directory will disappear. And the Feather will blink and boot and come back up. And now the drive will be called CircuitPy. So that means your Feather has a personality. It's running Python natively. So now you can click on the CircuitPy drive. This is actually the drive on this Feather board where your program is going to go. We'll go back to our list of things to do here. So we've upgraded. We've got CircuitPython on the Feather. We're going to go download next the stemma QT version of the Seesaw library. I'm just going to follow that and take it so you don't have to follow all the steps to get there. Let's see. This was the install CircuitPython. I'm going to write on top of that. So we're going to go over here for Python and CircuitPython. This is actually for a thing called an AT-Tiny. What we want is this library called Adafruit CircuitPython Seesaw library. We're going to go there. We're going to click on the code button. We're going to download as zip. Oops, sorry. I guess I'll row this page so you can see it. There we go. So we're going to download zip. And again, that showed up underneath my video. Here's the zip file. We're going to show that in the Finder. There's the zip file of the Seesaw library. I'll double click the zip. That gives me a Seesaw folder. I open that. I'm going to take this Adafruit Seesaw and I'm going to go down to my CircuitPy drive. I'm going to drag this whole folder into the CircuitPy drive. I'm going to hold it there until it opens, and then I'm going to drag it into the lib directory. So that installed the Seesaw library that we need to make the rotary encoder work. We're going to go back to my list again. So the next thing we need to do is go find the rotary encoder, and we need to plug in our rotary encoder. So here is my rotary encoder, and this is called the Stemma QT cable. You can see there's a Stemma QT connector. The pins are small and they're all on one edge. You can look and make sure you get the cable in the right direction so that you don't bend the pins. I'm going to go ahead and plug in my rotary encoder. And then I'm hoping by this point you've installed the Mu app, because we're going to assume that you have. I'm going to click on New. I'm going to go back to the web. I'm going to download the example for the CircuitPython. That's for the CircuitPython there. So this is the Python and CircuitPython for the Adafruit I2C QT rotary encoder. So you'll see this is the breakout board, and this is the page for showing you how to connect it to different kinds of microcontrollers and other projects. We're going to take this file called, let's see, we'll go down to the example. I think there's one here with, sorry for all the scrolling, this one called multiple QT rotary encoder. It's a little too complicated. We only have one rotary encoder. This one's called NeoPixel color picker example. We're going to grab that. The nice way to do it is to download it, but for the speed of this video, I'm just going to copy the code to the bottom. I copy that. I'm going to open a new file here on the Mu folder. I'm going to copy that code in. I'm going to open the serial so that we can see it run on the system or on the Feather that's right here. Now I'm going to download that by saying save. I'm going to call it code.py and save it onto the Feather. I'm going to replace the code.py that's already there. You can see down here it says auto reload is on. It's already running code.py 8.05 as the version of our CircuitPython. And if I notice now, you see there's a red light on. That's good. This is the NeoPixel LED. This is the rotary encoder. So if I give it a turn, you can watch here in the serial console. You'll see the counts from the rotary encoder working. So I tip it back and forth. I can go negative. I can go positive. And as I do that, you can watch the LED change from red, purple to blue. So there it is. It took us, I don't know how long, a few minutes to get the rotary encoder up working in CircuitPython. So from there, you can open this Python code and you can make it do other things for yourself. But that's success, and we'll call that the end. So thanks for watching.